people that do not understand come and sit closer to her, that would be fine, but I will slow down.
So what I've asked you to do is if she can find because I did ask you to have all the meetings, I've asked you to find a space somewhere where she can hear you better. I'm not sure that she's sitting behind you, the speaker. So, and then, unfortunately, well, let me try to understand it. Lo que está pasando es que la traductora ya no tiene equipo de traducción, las máquinas que están usando, así que le he pedido a ella si puede encontrar un espacio atrás del salón donde los que necesitan espacio se pueden encontrar cerca de ella para que ella pueda estar traduciendo. También hemos pedido a la presidenta que hable un poco más despacio para que ella tenga tiempo de traducir. Pero si disculpen, ya parece que ya se acabaron los aparatos de traducción. Si no tienen, entonces le voy a pedir que se acerquen a la traductora para que pueda oír lo que ella está traduciendo. Gracias.
Okay, let's continue. Let's try again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the setup of what we're going to be doing. Fanny will be given, so she submitted the petition, 10 minutes to make a statement. Carlos will be given 10 minutes to make his statement. And we will then have public comment. We will have 2 minutes. We only have 14 cards. Once this starts, I will not take any more cards. We will have 2 minutes. We have a clock up here. If it could be set to 2 minutes, just a minute, please. Okay, the old floor family. Perfect. Okay, and then after the public comment, we will have the board will be able to make their comments, and they will each have 2 minutes. And it seems like pretty much everybody is against this petition, so I'm just going to go ahead and start calling them as they're up here. And please make sure that your statements are focused on the findings in the petition. Please refer to what is in the petition when making your statement, because those are the findings that are going to be reviewed by the city attorney. Okay, and then after that, after the board members, Carlos will be able to make an additional rebuttal. After that, the board will take a vote to send the findings that we have to the city attorney, and there will be a vote next month. There is no voting on this petition this month for the removal. Okay, all we're going to be voting on is to send the paperwork to the city attorney. Again, please make sure that your statements refer to the petition. Okay? Fanny, you want to go ahead and start?
Hello everyone, my name is Fanny Ortiz, and I'd like to start by saying that Carlos Montes harasses board members who don't agree with him via email, social media, and in person. He follows his own agenda and disregards others with different viewpoints. As the previous president, he would cut corners with finances which we're now paying for. With that being said, he makes valid viewpoints on some issues, but he needs to follow the procedure he himself set forth in addressing concerns. Moving on forward, I would like to just highlight the analytical comments Carlos Montes made during public comment in my special budget and finance committee meeting on October 14. He stated, I have received 2 hard copies of NPGs a month ago, which I hand-delivered to the Boyle Neighborhood Council office, and I have yet to see them posted in the Budget and Finance Committee agenda. Clearly, Mr. Montes is willing to create issues where there is none to the Budget and Finance Committee If you follow this email, which I will be handing to the district attorney, Mr. Montes clearly says on the email, I have been contacted by at least 2 organizations that I have indicated they have submitted hard copies of NPD to our office cubicle last month, but they are not on the agenda. Carlos Montes is confusing himself, or clearly he wants to create unnecessary issues. I wonder what the real issue is. Thank you.
I think it's a little loud. Sí, buenas tardes. Me llamo Carlos Montes. Good evening. I know there's translation, so I'll just speak in English. My name is Carlos Montes. I live in Boyle Heights. I graduated from Hollenbeck Middle School and attended Boyle High School. And I'm a long time community activist, fighting for public education, immigrant rights, and a safe, quality environment. There's a lot to address. I'll address the specific false allegations of Ms. Fanny Ortiz. Okay, and I have a written statement that I distributed. I have about 40 copies, and I make sure that the board members have one. First of all, this is a response to the allegations of misconduct on the petition. First of all, pursuant to the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council bylaw, a board member may be removed from the board for good cause. What is good cause? Good cause, according to the bylaws, includes disruptive conduct, interfering with Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council business, violations of the bylaws, operating procedures, or code of conduct. Good cause is not the basis of the present petition. It is mainly based on my speech and my opinion and my political views. This is supported by the city attorney's response to the petition. Specifically, the city attorney in their September 28th response states that the board must make specific findings on the types of conduct by Montes that is believed to have interfered with the board operations. The board must make findings that cannot be based on Montes' statements, but rather on conduct that interfere with the board operations. Only such conduct, not words or speech, can be subject to a board member removal. Furthermore, that conduct must be specific, not based on generalities, and the conduct must be such that, quote, interference with board operations. This petition is devoid of any such conduct, and it's rather based on vague generalities and personal opinions of Ms. Ortiz. First, the petition does not provide any specifics, but mere generalities. Okay, Ms. Ortiz claims that on several occasions, both public and private, I behaved in a questionable, disrespectful, unprofessional, disruptive manner. Ms. Ortiz, in essence, provides incidents, none of which can be the basis for removal. Additionally, her complaints about my words and deeds in private and outside the board meetings cannot be the basis for removal. The city attorney has ruled that the conduct warranting removal must be conduct that interferes with the board operations, such as board meetings. Second, none of Ms. Ortiz's examples involve board operations. They all have to do with her dislike of my political speech and views. Ms. Ortiz cites as the reason for removal a comment that I allegedly made to her that she should not run for treasurer position. Even if this were to be true, this is not disruptive of any board conduct. Could it be that Ms. Ortiz possibly be saying that no one is entitled to their opinion as to who should be running for certain positions? If Mrs. Ortiz's position is accepted, then all political campaign speech must be censored. Similarly, Ms. Ortiz cites as a basis for my removal an email that I sent on July 22nd of this year, wherein I expressed my opinion that others should not vote for a certain individual to chair the Education Committee. Again, this is not disruptive of the board operations. I am merely expressing my opinion outside of the board meeting as to who would or would not be suitable for a certain position. It's hard to imagine that the candidate did not do the same and encourage others to vote for him or support him in that position or even the election to the new president. People had opinions and they asked people to vote for certain people. This is actually the essence of the democratic process and the spirit of campaigning, that you ask people to vote for you or for another candidate. As president, for 1 year, I helped and supported Ms. Ortiz when she was overwhelmed with her duties as treasurer. Our original treasurer resigned, and Ms. Ortiz was elected, and I voted for her. I did some of her work making sure that the neighborhood purpose grants were processed in a timely manner when she was falling behind the funding deadline. If we didn't meet that deadline, we would have lost the money. I also initiated a motion to obtain staff to support her from Apple One contracting company, which was approved by our board. I was motivated in her success as treasurer. She refers to one incident of an executive committee meeting, which was actually a combination executive board meeting where I raised my hand to speak, and she rudely interrupted me and said I could not speak. And I indicated to her that it was a board executive meeting, that I had the right to speak. In closing, I would like to state that these false allegations are politically motivated and are another attack on my long history of fighting for the rights and the betterment of Boyle Heights, the Boyle Heights community, of all residents, regardless of their economic or legal status. I want to thank the community, friends, and board members who have expressed their support, and I'm asking the board members to vote against this petition, but also to vote against the findings of this petition, because there's no grounds for it. Thank you very much. You know what? I want to address the allegations about the neighborhood purpose grants that she brought up recently, not in the petition. She misrepresented the facts. I was approached by the Abuelitos de Boyle Heights, and I was approached by the Latino Film Festival telling me that they had delivered a package of NPDs to our office here. Not that they didn't give them to me, that they delivered it to the office here. So I asked her why have they never been agendized. So I just wanted to point that out. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to start on public comment. You have 2 minutes. Frank Morales. And then Marisol Marquez. Can those names that I called, Frank Morales, Marisol Marquez, Angela, Baldomero Capiz, and Lupe Torres. Please line up over here.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Frank Morales. I'm a former school board member for Bassett Union this doesn't seem right. And the reason I say that is because as board members, you have to shut your personal thoughts at the door. You're here for one reason. You don't dislike anybody because that's not what it's all about. I learned to be a school board member. I learned Robert's rules. I learned the Brown Act, everything, because that's what I wanted to do. Everything that was said by Ms. Ortiz is just her thoughts. Everything he said doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because he didn't disrupt any meetings. He's giving his thoughts. I think you should run for president. The thing I'm concerned about is the daisy chain act. About an email that she sent out about not voting for this person. Well, more than two of you really talked about it in an email. That's against the Brown Act. Those are things that you need to learn. In order to be good, you have to know how to be a councilman or whatever it's called. I'm so surprised that there's 12 of you on board. I have 5. So this is just new to me. But one of the things you need to do is you keep your personal thoughts and actions outside that door. You don't bring them in here, and you don't bring them in the community. What you're doing isn't right, especially there's no foundation for kicking this man or having him removed, because he hasn't done anything wrong to the board. To maybe one person, well, you two need to get together and talk about it, because all you're doing is ruining the community and not helping anything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Marisol, and those making comments, please direct them to the board.
Hi, my name is Marisol, and I'm a Chicana here, and also a friend of Montes. One of the examples from the petition used to support the removal of my friend Carlos. It failed to really describe that the whole purpose of this was that, he stated a moment of silence was needed for Lorenzo Assad, and the Chicana Lorenzo Assad was murdered by police, during the Chicano moratorium. And to say that, you would not respect the moment of silence, as a Boyle Heights Council member or board member, that's totally unaccountable for. They were apologizing for then having to connection phone in the first place is, unacceptable. As a new Chicana to Boyle Heights, and the whole reason why I moved to Tampa was because I knew that Carlos, always popped up Boyle Heights when I lived in Tampa. Now that I live here and that I moved here, I have seen that Chicana was amazing. But it's unfortunate that it seems to be separated and forming sectarian divides here in the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. I would like to fully support Carlos Montes, and I completely against this petition and hope that everybody remember that, while Boyle Heights is very special to the country, and that if you are not supporting people like Lorenzo Assad or other Chicano rights activists, then you are not really taking Boyle Heights into account for what it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Angela, can you please state your full name?
When Carlos was in the election, Carlos had one of the highest numbers of voters and so yeah.
Excuse me, we can't hear.
The microphone's off.
123 people came out to vote for him. Let's start over again. Carlos, 123 people came out to vote for Carlos. He is passionate, yes, isn't that the whole purpose that we're here? Is to be passionate for the community we represent. That's what we're here to do. So I'm fully against this petition that was filed. This is like a personal vendetta against Carlos. This needs to be done. The community has spoken. They came out and voted for him. Do not take an action against him. He needs to remain on the board to be able to protect the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, my name is Fanny Ortiz. I'm a community member. I'm a teacher for LAUSD for 18 years, and I'm a mother and Heights. I've known Carlos Montes for 25 years and working and organizing in Boyle Heights, so this is new information to me, which is why I'm here. I'm just flabbergasted to hear this after working with him for 25 years. This has never come up. He is diligent with his work, he is kind, he's generous, and I've seen Boyle Heights community members come up to him and ask him for resources. How can I get this? How can I get this done? We've organized for 25 years from getting people to sign up for citizenship classes till one of our latest, organizing with Roosevelt High School students getting a charter off the campus. So this is something new. This is out of character. I'm completely against the removal of him from the Boyle Heights Council. I'm very concerned that if this is an emotionally driven agenda, or this is denying someone to have an opinion, or we're going to try to do censorship. And, you know, I'm invested in this community because I went to Roosevelt and I'm a counseling graduate, so I really hope that the member makes a decision that represents everyone in Boyle Heights and not just specific driven agendas or whatever is trying to happen here, because this looks very strange and suspicious to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I will call a few more names. Baldomero's next, but after Baldomero will be Jared Hamid, Cruz Becerra, Alida Perez, and Guadalupe Lazaro.
Bueno, mi nombre es Baldomero. Yo soy presidente de la Unión Binacional de Extranjeros en 1942 a 1977. Y hemos tenido la relación hace muchos años.
We have had a long relationship for many years.
Los movimientos que nos atañen a nosotros como movimiento campesino.
For the movements that pertain to us as movement for farmers.
Y donde conocimos a señor Carlos Monte.
And this is where we met Mr. Carlos Monte.
Me acuerdo que en aquella fecha estaban en actividades que eran del Chicano Morador.
And I remember at that time he was involved in activities that had to do with the Chicano moratorium.
Tal vez ustedes se acuerden mucho de ese movimiento.
Maybe you all remember well that movement.
Allí participamos nosotros.
We participated in that.
Y en muchas otras actividades relacionadas con los derechos civiles.
And many other activities that had to do with civil rights.
Todo en pos de la comunidad.
All for the good of the community.
La comunidad oprimida,
The community that has been oppressed.
que es la de los barrios que vivimos en Latinoamérica.
And this is the neighborhoods that we live in Latin America.
Esta situación que se presenta hoy aquí
The situation that we have now here.
debe de tener una salida en la cual se encuentra la labor del señor Carlos Montes.
It should have a solution where Mr. Montes' work is recognized.
Y que se eliminen también ciertas diferencias que se puedan suscitar en un concilio de vecinos.
And where we eliminate certain indifferences that can happen in a board meeting.
Y algo muy importante que está dentro de nuestra organización
Something that's very important in our organization
es los estatutos que debe de regir cualquier organización de tipo sindical, campesina o de comunidad como es el concilio.
or any law that should govern any union, farmers union, or any board
Es
like
donde
Boyle Heights.
donde se establezcan los principios y las conductas que deben de tener los miembros para que esto
Where the conduct and
que esto pueda funcionar, porque esto es una familia, que debemos estar todos unidos por una sola causa, que es nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
Thank you.
How you doing? My name is Jared Gamble, and I'm a resident here in Boyle Heights. I'm also a UPS worker and a rank and file member of the Teachers Local 396. So I want to urge the board to vote against this petition removing Carlos Montes. I've known Carlos for many years, and in that time I've gotten to know what he's all about. And I think others, not only in this room but across the country, know the same thing. Carlos has been a consistent fighter for the rights of immigrants, for the rights of Chicanos, and for the rights of oppressed people around the globe. So Boyle Heights, as with any other place in Los Angeles, when you think about the fight for legalization and the fight for equality for all immigrants, you think about Carlos Montes. When you think about the fight for public education, from the LA walkouts in 1968 to the current fight against privatization and charter schools in this neighborhood, Roosevelt, you think about Carlos Montes. So when members of this council want to kick him out, it's not kicking out the man, it's kicking out what he stands for.
That's right.
And so when you're kicking out him, you're kicking out the voices of immigrants, you're kicking out the voices of Chicanos, you're kicking out the people of East LA, the people on Chavez and Soto, the families of the kids that go to Roosevelt, you're kicking all of them out. That's what you're doing, nothing else. And I'm sure Donald Trump will do the same thing. I urge the council to vote against this petition and do right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, buenas tardes. My name is Aleida Perez and I'm a teacher at Roosevelt High School. I'm in my 6th year at Roosevelt High School, and I have a letter that my colleagues and myself have written about working with Carlos Montes in the last 6, 7, even more, right? Yes. We are writing in strong support on behalf of Carlos Montes, who has for over a decade collaborated and supported us as teachers and educators at Roosevelt High School. On behalf of Roosevelt High School, we would like to urge you to abandon your attempt to remove Carlos Montes from the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. Carlos Montes is a community cultural worker who has for decades contributed to positive change and relentless advocacy on numerous social issues and projects that have contributed to the betterment of our Boyle Heights community. Mr. Montes has been an advocate for immigrant and labor rights, public education, environmental justice, and social justice. Year after year, he continues to offer support to our students and teachers who, as members of the community, have been incredibly appreciative of his selfless activism and time. The work of Carlos Montes is inspirational to educators and youth who continue to look to the history of our community and to the contributions of the Chicano movement. Carlos Montes vote Untitled Montes in the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. If there are concerns about Montes, the council should engage the public regarding those concerns, given that he was democratically elected. We strongly urge the board members of the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council to drop a petition to remove board member preference.
Thank you. Okay. After that will be Guadalupe Lazaro, Art Fierros, Ofelia Platon, Scott Johnson. You're not next. I'm sorry. Your name on the list.
Comunicar con la comunidad nosotros, la señora presidenta.
I'm sorry. You're out of order. The young lady is next.
Y el señor de la cachucha roja le dijo que no recibiera mío. Yo creo que tengo derecho porque vivo aquí y también peleó por los inmigrantes. Yo siempre he escuchado que yo he escuchado cosas positivas por el señor Carlos y por eso no estoy de acuerdo que lo remuevan y estoy viendo la falta de respeto de ustedes aquí. El hecho de que no hablan español, no se pueden comunicar. Y ustedes vean que somos el porcentaje muy alto de gente latina y queremos gente que trabaje para todos, no nomás para la gente.
Gracias. Guadalupe.
The fact that Carlos Montes participated in the struggle makes him a living veteran. He gave the Metro Club the opportunity to lead a major march in the pathway of justice and equality for all. Most importantly, he opened an opportunity for our student voices to be heard. Also within this year, Mr. Montes collaborated with not just Mecha, but with so many other student clubs at Roosevelt, parents, and teachers in our community to preserve our historic high school from being co-located by a charter school. During this campaign, we noticed Montes brings a lot to the table by being organized, prepared, extremely motivated, and hardworking, and most importantly, optimistic. A diverse palette of skills and strong ethics is exactly what the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council needs. Roosevelt High School Metro and history are on your side, Mr. Montes. Let's stay on the right side of history and instead of silencing voices that be united for the love of Boyle Heights.
Thank you. Art Fierros.
The neighborhood council was put together to have people that represent the community. I was part of the neighborhood council that was put together. And for 4 years I taught nonprofits. And a lot of nonprofits are here. And sometimes I wonder if that's the reason that we became attacked. I don't know what the reason may be, but I don't always agree with what he does. Then again, I don't always agree with what my family does. But the point is that he is the community, and we need more of the community in the neighborhood council, and not more nonprofits, because nonprofits dictate what they want in their agenda, and they don't represent the community. Carlos Montes, he's been an activist back and way back. Maybe he might have a way of speaking, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. And that's what the neighborhood council is about. We've got to talk it out and try to get the best people to represent us. I'm against a lot of things that are happening here with all this development and all these outsiders coming into our brotherhood.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You're making a big mistake if you get rid of Carlos.
Thank you very much. Ofelia Platon. Okay, Ofelia, you will have 3 minutes because you were translating for her? Okay, you still have 3 minutes, okay?
Nosotros estamos aquí representando a Unión de Vecinos, y estamos trabajando para Unión de Vecinos y estamos en contra de que remuevan al señor Carlos Montes.
I'm here representing Unión de Vecinos, and I work for Unión de Vecinos, and Unión de Vecinos is against the expulsion of Carlos Montes.
Entonces, como el señor Carlos Montes ha estado trabajando
Carlos has been working with this community for many years, with students, with renters, and with the community. And if you remove him, you are removing the voice from the community.
Señor Carlos Montes, estamos con ustedes.
Thank you. Scott Johnson. Okay, I would like to call the next names that will follow you. Kimberly Arazo, Barbara Martinez, Jose Aguilar, Dolores, and John Ortiz.
Good evening, Boyle High School Council members and constituents, stakeholders. My name is Scott Johnson. For the record, I was the former recording secretary for the Elementary Chamber Council, and I'm the writer, editor, and mayor's book blog, and a lifelong resident of the Monte County Project, where I wrote that. I would say, as a person, Carlos Montes and I would disagree 95% of those wishes, but he is a man of character, devout character. As a Lincoln High School graduate, I know all about the lockdowns. Mr. Gordon, who was our 8th history teacher, was a young professional starting out when thousands of Hispanic Chicanos, whatever term you want to use, rose up against inequality. And whatever political belief you have, you cannot deny that there was racism going on in our community at that time period. To hold back people of color from achieving their potential. And what's happening here is a lack of character. The issues that we brought up were something we had in elementary student government, where the teacher would take us in, talk with us in the principal's office, and everything would be resolved. In modern day, we call that crisis resolution. There is no need to expel anybody for expressing their opinion, which is protected under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. People, this is for no other way to say it, a childish charade going on there. There's actually more malicious intent on what's going on behind the scenes here that they taken and these undertaking against Carlos Montes. I would say here tonight, this petition should be withdrawn. The parties should come together and remember, as the first person speaking said tonight, you need your beliefs out the door. Character can take over when you sit as a board member of this community. What we need is a show of character. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, board members. Can you hear me? Okay, my name is Barbara Martinez, and I'm here with my parents from Boyle High School. We're here in support of Carlos Montes, and I also use him a lot to this meeting, but throughout the years I've been seeing how some members have acted by bullying other members. I think that should be stopped. Another thing is we want to make sure that our community is properly. So we're here to let you guys know that we're not going to leave Carlos Montes behind. And if you guys manage to get him out, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to go to the city hall, we're going to be here, we're going to protest, because that's not right. Carlos Montes, doesn't talk about a lot of things that he did wrong. I mean, clearly you see all these people, how they talk about him and how we treasure Carlos Montes. We love him because he has been there for us, not only for us, but our children, and our community, and our future people. So we're not going to let this happen. We're going to fight for him, and I noticed that some of the members here like to bully, even people that come here. And I've witnessed many of that stuff happening. So I think that you guys should really get together and talk about it, because we're not going to allow this. We're not going to allow shame to be bullied. This is us talking. This is a community problem. And like I said, clearly you see.
Excuse me, Joel. Excuse me. Joel, you need to sit down, please. I'm sorry, Barbara.
Okay. So, like I said, I usually like to come to this meeting, but I've noticed throughout the years how this works and how a lot of times you guys bully other members. And we should have it. There was another lady here that spoke more in Spanish, and I noticed how they got rid of her too. So, and they have this disrespect my friend here. This is a immigrant community. We should start having more people at the table that speak Spanish and fight for the people's rights. Carlos does that. We want him here, and I'm saying it personally. I'm not gonna allow that. And if you guys remove him, I will do something, and I'm gonna get all this time from here from Boyle High. much.
Thank you. Kimberly Arazo. Not here? Okay. Okay, what's the next one? Jose Aguilar, you're next.
Jose Aguilar, we're not deeply concerned with the level of nepotism that's going on here. I myself, back in 2010, when I was president of the Baltimore Council, was a victim of political councilmatic cronyism. Long story short, this is what I'm accusing the board of making sure I never had a quorum. So I would fall in trouble with Dunn. So then they disavow the board, disillusion the board. They gave me the option of disillusioning the board or leaving. Instead, I chose that the whole board that was responsible for the quorum levels, we all have. I don't want this to continue into Carlos Montes' term. And I can tell you something about Carlos Montes. I might disagree with him on some, I'm not a fan of Karl Marx, brother. I'm not. But what I do know about Carlos, he served with distinction and honor against gentrification when he served with me on the board of the Project Air Committee in the CRA. He was there for 4 years, 6 years, he gave up his time, and he supported our cause. And we were here to protect the local businesses and residents in this community, and he did well. So I know him. I may not agree with his stances, brother, I don't, but what I do know is we serve the community with honor. We love this community as much as we do, and I'm asking the public to stand against nepotism that is going on in this board. And he's also probably the subject of councilmatic cronyism with some of these board members going after him. Protect this man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is the end of our public comment. We will now take board comment. I called them. Okay, Dolores, are you here? We have one more, and then we will have board comments. Thank you very much. John, please take the mic so we can all hear you. Thank you.
I was one of the students here. I in the high school walkout. We shut down our high school. We have a high school. This is part of our political position in this organization. Now, I've been on for years. Several meetings, quite accept that. Well, for one thing, Carlos may have his opinions, and I don't necessarily agree with all of them. But he will tell you how he feels. So you got this stuff on the table. The other thing, I attended several meetings as a community member, and the way he ran and conducted the meetings was quite impressive. I know how the business should be run. I think it's government. So if you remove him, this community is not neat. It's very unhealthy practice. Get back to the business. That is our leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.